What is going on, guys? Today we have got Ruud van Nistelrooy coming at you at his base 86. It's coming in very, very cheap at 67,500 coins. And I'm interested to know, is this the year for him? He can be lengthy, but that is only with a marksman on 3 stars. If you are concerned about lengthy, go over to Footbin, and in the chemistry, there is certain things, if you've only got him on 1 chem, 2 chem, and 3 chem, that he actually can be. So, for instance, with Nunes, you can put him on I think it's a hunter with 3-star, or Kessie, I think. No, it's Tushimeni with a 3-star. You can put him on an anchor, but on a 2-star, he can only be architect. So always make sure, if icons are a bit different, but say you go for a normal player, check that they are going to be 3-star, 2-star, 1-star in your team, and make sure you've got the right chemistry. With obviously Van Nistelrooy, he always is 3-star as long as he's in the position. We've got centre forward as the alternative position, and is a 3-star, 3-star. Normally is pretty rubbish in the game, to be honest. I feel like normally he's just not necessarily anywhere near any meta. Shooting wise is normally pretty good, especially with the lower pace strikers. We find that their shooting's very good, but it's getting them into the positions that is the hard part. You need strikers who can kind of do it all. That's why Mbappe is so expensive. Haaland, Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, they're all expensive because they can do it all. They've got fantastic shooting, dribbling, pace, passing, they've got it all. So they are the most expensive. The Van Nistelrooys of the game, the Kloses, the Linekers, they're not necessarily the most, so they tend to give you a less output. But by all accounts, doesn't mean they can be a write-off. Sometimes you like a past and present team, sometimes you just like a specific icon, even if they are not the most meta in the game. 3-star, medium, low, 6'2" was it? 6'2", with no traits, unfortunately. Pace-wise, we're going to have the Hawk on him, which will give him the lengthy chem star, which is hopefully what we're looking at today. It gives him 82 pace, 91 shooting, 79 physical, taking that strength up to 84, and his aggression up to 76. Passing wise, it's okay, nothing crazy. Short pass will get him by. Long pass is a definite no-no. The agility balance is a little bit shocking, but he's got great composure, okay ball control, and decent reactions. So let's try him in Rivals and just see what this man can do. Van Nistelrooy going for the diving header. Oh, why couldn't we got up? He needed to jump like a salmon again and get that in. Good header from Nistelrooy. Oh, and it leads to the goal as well. Tushimeni bringing it forward. It's a solid little knock from Nistelrooy, and it'll be them sort of moments that, like I say, you can use him. He's, like I say, not going to be the meta striker that you kind of want in the Mbappes, in the R9s, but as a cheap player, if you like the card itself, you definitely still can just utilize him in other areas. Maybe having a second striker with him would be the kind of most beneficial factor. I think having him on his own will just give you almost too much of a secluded striker, and you are heavily relying on your wings to bring the ball forward. Good winning of the ball. Can we look for a little turn? We managed to get a little bit of luck here. We're going to get it in one more. Riquelme! Van Nistelrooy. Is the pace going to be enough with the lengthy? Keepers out. It's an easy dink central, and we've done too much again. It's the shooting side of stuff. I feel like he definitely should be doing better there. I think I've probably put a little bit too much power on. I'd say at least it should be 8 out of 10 times. They should definitely be flying straight over the keeper and hitting the back netting. Good spin off, and he wins it back after losing it. What can we find from him? He's going to look forward. He has got the lengthy meta on him. Get that left foot across goal. And what is his weak foot again? That definitely again should be. That's where maybe not having the most meta striker, the 4-star weak foot, the 5-star weak foot, the pace is going to play a massive factor, as them moments of maybe 1 or 2 shots could be the difference between 11-0 and literally just absolutely plummeting, as we find him running through here. Can we try and find him back from Riquelme? Does. Going to try and do the little step across goal, and he's gone and worked it. Pings it into him. Gets a good side step, and it's a solid tackle from Koulibaly. Van Nistelrooy. Oh, he's got to. Oh, it's a penalty. Okay, we've got a chance. I was going to say that overhead kick looked like it was going in. Van Nistelrooy was the one to step. Riquelme is technically the one with better, but we know we're going to bag this one with Van Nistelrooy. Come on, straight down the middle. What? Van Nistelrooy with the tackle. The pace is just not enough to get through Wan-Bissaka there, though. Even with the lengthy meta, pace is still a massive thing in this game. You've got to have both. Van Nistelrooy seeing on the outside. I think he's got Terrier in nice there. The problem is there is just absolutely zero help there. Going to try and push it back to Riquelme. Good take from Van Nistelrooy. Looking for that Riquelme run if he can. He's going to whip a little ball in. Riquelme gets on the end of it. Goes for the shot. It's a 1 in a million. You don't normally see it, but that is a solid finish. Great take from Nistelrooy, showing he can do a little bit down that wing. It definitely isn't recommended, but sometimes it pays off. Oh, Van Nistelrooy. Go on, go for the shot. That's a save from Alisson. Definitely, like I say, the lower paced players normally have relatively good shooting, and even if you can just get them in a slight position, they tend to be able to pull off some shots that you don't really find with your average pace striker. Sometimes, not all the time. Van Nistelrooy. This is kind of the worst position that you can find him in terms of right at the edge of the box of his own. Having the ball, knowing that he's the only striker, it's just not going to end well because you need him here. This is the position you constantly want him in. Obviously trying to win it back. Riquelme might beat him to it. Can we find a ball back? Oh, it's offside. But in terms of kind of being on the edge of his own box, he's just not got enough pace, enough dribbling, enough skills to even warrant being able to try and run that far with the ball without being tackled by absolutely anybody. Van Nistelrooy. Oh, he sees it. He sees that. That is a pitch-perfect ball into Riquelme. Little dink over the keeper, and Riquelme with his fourth. Nistelrooy with the assist. And honestly, that is enough. So going into the overall for Nistelrooy then. Honestly, I felt like he would be better in terms of shooting. Obviously, he does get the Hawk, which does give him the full works of lengthy, and it definitely has some impact. I think even when we've seen someone like a Casemiro, when we've seen Toni Kroos, with that lengthy added, even though they've got, say, 70 to 80 pace, it definitely does a good bonus. There's definitely no at all lengthy kind of meta in him. It makes him, not necessarily, yeah, it probably makes him quicker, to be honest, in the grand schemes of obviously how the accelerate works. But it doesn't kind of matter compared to somebody like Haaland with 89 pace, can whack the hunter on him. He has 94 pace and lengthy. That is why you've got a 200 to a million coins with his informs compared to a 68k icon. The icon already has a massive value because A, it's the lowest. I think what can we actually sell him for? You can sell him for 64k basically at the absolute minimum. So they are technically almost discard icons. I think how much can we discard him for? We can discard him for that. So that is the kind of thing that we're dealing with in terms of this is a discard icon at this moment in time. There may be requirements or what have you for more. So obviously it does go up. But in terms of what pricing he has got, you've got to take away that he's 65k and think, okay, he is the lowest of lowest icons. That's the reason. Haaland, if you go for strikers, he is most definitely not the lowest. I think he's like 4th highest. So that is the difference in what stats, skills, lengthy can all do for you. I think what Nistelrooy does have for you though, 6'2", has a bit about him. Medium low, right footed. The 3-star is a big negative because I feel like even with just a slight bit more on the skill side, you've definitely got a better striker overall. In terms of the pace, again, lengthy does work, but he will eventually become so out of the game that unfortunately just wouldn't be able to be used against any centre-back. Shooting-wise was okay. I think obviously it's his best quality. Dribbling-wise, in terms of running straight, it's fantastic, but it's when he has to turn, that is where he really feels heavy, sluggish, and very stuttery to move. He's not necessarily the quickest dribbler that we can imagine. Stamina-wise was okay, nothing too crazy. Would more than likely bring him off at half-time just to get on a fresh pair of legs to keep that kind of momentum going. And heading, again, we don't really do too much about it, but he's definitely got a little bit of a head if you do use that sort of tactic. Overall wise for me, he's an okay striker, but most definitely in top tier is going to be nowhere near what you're going to need to be able to kind of play with the best of the best as such. If you're in, I'd say anywhere from Division 10 to maybe Division 5, you might be able to get away with it, but meta teams are very easy to come by. We've seen so many centre-backs with lengthy plus a shadow. That's going to be just unfortunately too much for him to handle. Overall wise, I'd be looking at a solid I'd say 5.5. I think 6 of them being very generous, but again, I think more 5 to 5.5 would be what I'd put him at. So let me know down below if you are going to be using Van Nistelrooy. Did you get him out of your icon pack, or are you just generally interested how this card develops from his 86 to his 90 to his 92? We'll be covering that on this channel. So if you want to subscribe, that is always appreciated. Check out the videos on the left-hand side, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.